Hello and welcome to MUS 3701 Music Tech 1. So I am Dr. Ben Furman, and I will be your instructor for this class. If you need to get in touch with me quickly, my email is bfuhrman@oakland.edu. Office hours are on the course page and by appointment. I strongly recommend that you take advantage of those. If you have any questions, that's what they're there for. Due to COVID-19, we are moving this course online for this semester. It will be a synchronous online class, but I'm going to put a lot of the lectures up on Moodle for you to review. Same thing with the assignments, the listening examples, and any other links. They will be available for you to go over at your leisure. Just make sure that you go through them before the first class that they pertain to. Because it's synchronous, we will still be meeting through video. There's a link at the top of the Moodle page, and this will occur every Tuesday and Thursday from 10:40 to 11:47 a.m. Make sure that you're there because it will be very important. Even though all the lectures are going to be up online already, I'm going to be using that time to go over examples that we couldn't put online, to do live demonstrations, to help you with questions that you're running into. And because it's a music tech class, a lot of debugging and general problem solving when something blows up. And it will. Just be aware. So yeah, be there for all of the course meetings and be sure to ask questions. It's very hard for me to know if you have a question in an online class unless you ask. So make sure you do. Everything will be turned in through Google Drive. Thanks to the university, you have a nearly unlimited amount of storage there. So I'm going to go through and create folders for every student that only the student and myself can access. Just upload all of your work to those folders. Make sure that you have the correct assignment number on them. And unless otherwise specified, all assignments are going to be due on Fridays at noon. Of course, life happens. Things have a way of messing up the best laid plans. So if you do need to miss a class or if you need an extension on an assignment, let me know. Get a written note from your conductor, doctor, court, but hopefully not, your coach, police, mechanic, etc. I understand exactly how bad it is on I-75 in dealing with traffic, so if something happens and your car breaks down, let me know. If a family member dies, obviously I will definitely be very willing to extend the deadline for that. Get me a copy of the obituary, or you can go through the bereavement absence policy on Oakland's website and fill out that and get a actual leave from the university if you need to. But when at all possible, let me know in advance. That way I can let you know what we're going to be covering or extend the deadline for you. So the academic conduct policy, per the university, there is no plagiarism of any sort, period, end of story. The link is in the syllabus, but keep in mind that for a class like music technology, this extends to things like unauthorized sampling. So make sure that you are sampling only things that you have permission to sample. Don't go and take, the chorus out of whatever new hit song you're listening to and try and pass that off as your own work. That would be extremely bad. There are a number of free sampling sites that you can use, and you can, of course, always record your own. For special considerations, if you have something that needs to be addressed with an extra accommodation, I can only do that if you have an accommodation letter from DSS. If you have one, just get in touch with DSS and have them mail me a copy, or better yet, email me a copy since I'm not going to be on campus this semester. But they are very, very good doing that. They usually have a turnaround time of minutes. So that's good. That gets me the accommodation letter, and then I know what I can do for you and what I can offer in terms of extra time, note taking, stuff like that. But without that specific letter from DSS telling me what accommodations I can give you, I can't give you any additional accommodations. So make sure that you get me that letter ASAP if you have one. Then the preferred name policy. I just like to say that I will probably mess up everyone's name at least once. I'm terrible with names. It will happen. Sorry. So let me know if you have a name that you prefer to be called by, but also be sure to go in on the Moodle and sale pages and change it there as well. It's two different places you have to change it. I wish they could streamline it, but they haven't. It is very confusing for me if you don't make those changes as well, because then you'll pop up on Moodle with one name and sale with another, and I'm trying to figure out who is this. So that can be very difficult. If you have questions on that, I can help you and walk you through it. It takes maybe 5 minutes at the max. It's very easy once you've done it a couple of times. For resources, you will have access to the Music Tech Lab, Varner 236. In order to get access to that lab, you will need to send me your Grizzly ID numbers, because that will become part of your PIN. However, due to COVID, they are taking a lot of the computers and hardware out of that room. So it's currently going to be limited to 4 people at a time. Obviously, that is not ideal. And in addition to that, of course, the policy of do not bring food or beverages in there is doubled with COVID. You do not want open food or beverage that someone could sneeze in the same room and then you get infected with the flu or something worse. And of course, just generally do not bring food and beverages in there, because if you spill coffee down the back of one of the computers, guess what? You just bought it. And that means that you will have to pay for it before I can release your grades. Don't recommend it. Of course, if you are using the lab to do your assignments, then if something doesn't work, let me know immediately. If I don't know, I can't call UTS to get it fixed. Also, you should contact Chris Ware, CW at oakland.edu, if you notice that something is not working in the lab. His office is in Varner. There is a sign in the lab that has his email and his phone number there that will get him down there as soon as he can and fix whatever is not working. For this class, we do have a textbook by Dan Hoskin, An Introduction to Music Technology, 2nd edition. You can find it in the OU bookstore or online, but you will need it starting now. So make sure you have that. Obviously, if you need to get in touch with me, email and Moodle are the best way. And since we're going to be doing this synchronously online, you will need to check in on Moodle and your email regularly to see if there are any messages from me or if anything has been changed in the class on the online component. With the syllabus, everything in there is currently accurate, but the timeline may be altered as needed. Hopefully, because we're doing this online, we won't have the crazy scramble that happened last semester, but you never know. If things have to be adjusted, just please be flexible. I realize it's an inconvenience to everybody. There are some major areas that we're going to be looking at throughout this semester. We've got 4 things, and they're all going to kind of build one on top of the other. So we're going to start with acoustics, psychoacoustics, and MIDI. What is sound? How do you hear sound? And what are all of these MIDI things that I keep hearing about? From there, we're going to move on to musique concrète, recording, editing, sampling, and sequencing sounds in a DAW. Then we're going to get into synthesis using VCV rack and analog models of modular synthesizer devices, before we end with a brief introduction to interactivity. It's going to be pretty fun. One thing to note is that all assessments are going to be skill and project based. All of the requirements are in all of the projects and all of the assignments. Just make sure that you check them all off as you're going through. I'm not going to give you the actual how many points everything is worth, if only because I find that to be kind of limiting in terms of what students create. but you will have a rubric. And then, of course, if you have questions on those, when in doubt, ask. Again, I can't see most people when they're looking over the materials or going over the lectures since they're going to be videos. So if you've got a question, email me or set up time to talk. I'm very, very, very happy to go over any questions that you have.